dealing with yet another Bible verse that flat earthers tend to abuse, misuse, and misinterpret. That is Job 37:18. First and foremost, in studying any scripture, you need to ask yourself a few questions. Number 1, what was said? Number 2, when was it said? Number 3, who said it? By the end of this video, you'll know the answer to all of these questions. 1, this is not a very accurate translation, especially this word sky. It's translated from the Hebrew word sachak, which comes from a root which means to pulverize into dust. Therefore, sachak is usually translated as dust or clouds, cloud of dust. So that word sky should actually be rendered as clouds or dust, not sky. And do understand, the phrase looking glass simply means mirror. It's just an old way of saying mirror. The NET actually translates it better. Will you with him spread out the clouds, solid as a mirror of molten metal? Number 2, when was this spoken? Someone might say, well, who cares when it was spoken? Well, you should care, because it can make all the difference. Some words that we use today meant something completely different just a century ago. The book of Job is the oldest book in the Bible. Some estimate that Job lived 4,000 to 4,200 years ago. So you need to ask the question, what did a mirror look like in those days? Here's an example of what ancient mirrors look like. A little bit like the sky, don't you think? And number 3, who said this? It can make all the difference. A lot of people quote the Bible saying, well, God said this, God said that, but what they're quoting is not God at all. They're quoting the record of someone else's words, and this is a good example. If you read this in context, this is Elihu's words. This is what Elihu said, not God. God spoke up later. So unless you trust that Elihu is a perfect man, infallible in everything that he says, guess what? This could be wrong. So the ultimate question is, what does this really mean? Don't forget, the book of Job is a poetic book, full of figures of speech, not to be taken literally. So when Elihu said this, no, he didn't literally mean that the clouds are literally a mirror. No, he didn't mean that the clouds are solid. No, that's not what he meant. I believe that Elihu is just asking Job a simple question. Job, were you with God when God spread out the clouds? Look at them, cloudy, just like one of our mirrors.